Hi, I'm Chuck Dorsett for Weaver Leather Supply, and this is the Leather Element. If you've got a good question for us or a good idea for a leather element, drop it in the comment box below. Also, if you want to know when our videos release, just click your notifications. You'll know exactly when these come out. We're going to add a Facile frame to a project. This is just an internal spring frame, and you may have heard this called a snap or a pop frame. Super easy to add, but there's one small inexpensive tool we cannot do without. So we're going to step over to our pattern table. Let's look at a couple of simple measurements, then let's add our frame. Let's start right here. In fact, there's our frame. Best part about this, we don't have to worry about left or right. Same thing. We're just going to reverse it when we add this to our project. So measurement wise, we've got these in multiple lengths. We've got a 10-inch frame here. I'm going to drop 1/4 of an inch from either side. That's going to give us room. That is going to expose that hinge, give us room to set our rivet, but also there's something else we can add there. We'll look at that. So our measurement there, 9.5 inches. Now, top to bottom, I need about 7/8 of an inch on either side of that. That's going to be snug, but not loose. So let's go 7/8 of an inch, 7/8 of an inch. That's 1 3/4 of an inch, okay? But let's pull this down, and we're going to go 1/4 of an inch further. That gives us room for our stitch line, okay? So this distance, we've done the cinch pouch before. Basically, we're just going to sew this inside out and then flip it around. I'm going to put a 1/2 inch on either side. Last point, if I want a 6-inch deep pouch, I need to consider this as 1 inch. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to measure down 5 inches. That'll give us 6 top to bottom. Okay, let's step over to our main table, take a look at adding one of these. Since we're concentrating more on the frame than the pouch, we're not going to spend much time here. But for the new folks, to get us up to where we are now, 3 simple steps. Well, first off, I'm going to cut my pattern times 2. Second step, let's fold this over, and there we are. There's our 1/4 of an inch. Let's use our double-sided tape, stick that down, and sew that. Next step, let's take our 2 faces. In fact, both of these will be on the outside. I'm going to put those facing each other, and with my double-sided tape, I'm going to tape and then sew that. Now, big help to me, because a square corner isn't square when we reverse that. Let's use a corner knife. Makes the whole thing look so much better and easier to sew. So what's going to happen is when we reverse that, that's what we have outside. Actually, let's do ours a little bit differently. Let's reverse that. So we've actually got a border on the outside. I like that touch. Okay, let's add our frame. Let's start with inserting our frames. So on these, we've got 2 loops on one end, 1 loop on one end. I want my loops facing inward, and let's start with our smaller end. It's just easier to push that through. Good. Okay, let's flip left to right. So therefore, if I push through from my smaller end, I'm going to have 1 loop and 2 loops. Okay, we've got that. Now, don't make the same mistake I did. Order more than one of these. I've been scared to death I'm going to lose that. But also, if you've ever tried to set these without this, it is virtually impossible. So we're going to use a tubular rivet. Now, these are going to come with our frame. They're 11/16 inch. So let's take our setting pin, and I'm going to force that together somewhat. I don't need a lot of pressure because that's pointed. There we go. Let's push that down in. Now, on the end of this, there's a small shank there. Our tubular rivet sits right on that. So let's put that on our marble and just force it through. How easy was that? Yeah, again, if you've ever tried to do that without that, virtually impossible. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And our rivets are set. Okay, let's take a tubular setter. Let's put our head down on our marble. Now, a big point here, I don't want to set this so hard that it pins all those small loops together. Even if we set this just a little bit, it's going to stay where it is. That's about all I want. I've curved that around. Over here, same thing. And there we are, set and ready to go. How easy is that? 2 cool points. We have frames with solid brass hinges, but also right here, this is actually called a snapper rivet with a ring. We're going to do exactly the same thing, but this actually sets itself. and force that through. How about that? Now we can connect a chain. How cool and useful are our Facile frames. Another product that's easy to add, and it does so much for our projects. I can already see some creative ways to go with this one, and we're going to do that. I hope this is good information for you. Thanks for taking time to watch the Leather Element. Good luck with your projects.